So Caitlin Clark is back and better than ever. Hello, everybody. Caitlin Clark finally plays live for us in the second preseason game for the Indiana Fever. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover. That's tonight at 6 o'clock to 7 Eastern Time, except for major holidays. And Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30, we have guest podcasters, just like a sports reporters type forum debate. We talk about Caitlin Clark and all sorts of good stuff. So Caitlin Clark finally took the court. She didn't play in the first preseason game, as everyone knows, probably anyone who's a basketball fan anyways. And she did start this one. I guess her leg wasn't 100%, but it was good enough to play. And she looked great, Rob, other than the fact that she didn't look as fast as she normally does. I think she was making sure she didn't strain her leg.
Right, yeah, she looked. I mean, how fun was that for her to play in front of her old college? That must have been really exciting for her and the fans. And so,
Right.
Yeah, she played well. She played well.
Yeah, you could see the offense flowed way better than it did without her in the game before. I know they weren't playing against a good opponent. I mean, they beat them by like 100 points. But the Chicago Sky only beat them by like 26 or 28 or something like that. So they crushed them. So I thought, Rob, go ahead, Rob.
Well, the offense was, like I say again, night and day. There's movement, there's cutting. And there was one point where even Mitchell was passing. She gave up a three. Normally she would have shot that 3-pointer from the corner, and she reversed the ball back and gave it. And somebody else, I think it was Hull, hit the 3-pointer instead.
She did. She had one in the corner as a possible three, and she passed it to the person on her right also. So yeah, Mitchell made some couple nice passes in both games so far in the preseason, and it's nice. And I said there's no way Stephanie White is going to allow Kelsey Mitchell to play the type of basketball she's played her whole career, which I think is selfish basketball. I understand she hasn't had good teammates, but to never pass just because you don't have good teammates, who's going to give you the ball? Then all you do is one-on-one stuff all the time. So that's just my personal opinion. I think she'd be a better player. In fact, I think she could be first-team All-Pro, and her and Caitlin Clark could be the two best guards in the league if Kelsey Mitchell passes the ball like she did in the two preseason games and ups her defense like Caitlin Clark needs to do. They're going to be not only the best backcourt in the WNBA, but the best two guards in the WNBA, in my opinion, Rob.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Mark. I mean, that could happen. It should happen with their shooting and then the passing and then just overall. And then what I liked also is the defense. The defense on the Fever was different. They're playing more intense. I saw the sliding through on the screens, and you say offense kind of is contagious. Defense is also contagious for a team.
There was more flow to their offense too, though, Rob. So that was good. And I didn't see anyone being way off their person when the offensive player was open on a 3-point line. Like with Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell will be a no man. Christy Side's coaching ability is, you can just see the difference between her and Stephanie White, Rob.
Well, the pickup of Cunningham that's going to be the steal for the Fever. She's playing fantastic. She plays great defense, and her offense is. They've got potentially, Mark, at least 5 or 6 3-point shooters out there that can make the 3-pointer.
Yeah, and Michaela Timpson looked good again for the second game in a row. So I'm going to talk about that right now. So I'm going to go over the roster. I'll go over the stats, but I'll go over the roster as I talk about that. Because I looked this up, Rob. So it's kind of complicated, but there is a protected and a guaranteed contract. Then there's an unprotected, non-guaranteed contract. Then there's a camp contract. So I'll explain it because I had to research this. There was only 4 people that have a protected guaranteed contract on the team. That's Natasha Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, Damaris Dontress, and Lexi Hall. No matter what happens, Rob, they have to pay those persons if they cut them. So those people are not being cut. So just so you know. The other players, another 6 players, Bonner, Boston, Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Colson and also Brianna Turner, they have unprotected contracts, Rob. They're not camp contracts. The difference is if you play a half a season, at that point, it becomes a guaranteed contract if you're an unprotected contract. If you have a camp contract, it's never guaranteed, even if you make the team. That's the difference. It's a really close difference between an unprotected contract and a camp contract. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, those 6 teams, they could get cut if they get cut before halfway through the season, and it won't cost them anything against the cap. Those 6 players, because they're unprotected contracts, including Kaden Clark, which could never going to happen. Okay, so Brianna Turner, I thought was a sure thing, but then I figured out, okay, she's an unsuspected. She might not make the team.
Yeah.
Decide that Michaela Timpson can do everything that she can do for a cheaper price and is more potential. And they want to get another guard if they want to keep like Bree Hall or somebody like that, or Jaylen Brown. But most likely, she's still going to be on the team. I'm just telling you, it's a possibility. Any of those 6 players I just mentioned, even though obviously we know that Kaden Clark and Leah Boston are never going to be cut, they could be cut and not cost them anything against the cap. The first 4 players I mentioned cannot. So that's what I figured out. So we know that's $112,000 is what they have, and it's the next contract. If they're going to keep someone, is going to be $69,000. I was told $66,000, but I guess this year the rookie contract is $69,000. So that's going to give like $43,000 left over. So somewhere about a third of the way through the season, they can add a 12th player, and that's some of the players that are there. So it's kind of confusing because if you're a player and you get like cut by the Fever, and you figure out you're going to be the 12th person, wouldn't you just go sign with someone else if they pick you up off the waivers?
Right. So go to Europe or, go to Russia, whatever, Europe or Asia to play basketball. Yeah, that's kind of a decision.
Well, I'm talking about if someone in the WNBA picks him up. They might not get him back. So there's a danger in that. And that's the problem with the fact that they don't have enough money underneath the cap. And that all comes down to the fact that Katie Lou Samuelson, who's now out for the year with an ACL, that cost them around $110,000 for the buyout. And that's why they don't have enough room for 12 people. Thanks, Lynn Dunn, by the way. Yeah. The announcer, when I was watching the game against Page, gave Lynn Dunn credit for all the new players they brought in. Lynn Dunn had nothing to do with the new players they brought in this year. In fact, she's sitting in the corner saying, shut up. You screwed this up in the first place. We're just giving you this supposed special advisor just to save face. I don't believe she has anything to do with any of the moves that are being made.
Right. You just go sit in the corner. We don't, you stay there.
That was the play-by-play person on Friday night called Krista Blunk. I believe she said this because I couldn't see the announcers, but I believe that was her voice that said that and not the color commentator. So she's delusional that Lynn Dunn did this. Lynn Dunn screwed things up with a guaranteed contract with Christy Wallace, which didn't hurt him because she's not playing this year, and also with Katie Samuelson. She made too many guaranteed protected contracts for the team, Rob, and you can't do that and then not get screwed on the salary cap if the person turns out not to be that good or didn't play well. Like Katie Samuelson, she might be good, but she didn't play well. She's coming back from maternity leave, and now she's got another year, and I wish her luck with the rehabilitation and the surgery.
At ACL, knee injuries. Oh.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because, she probably was going to come back pretty good this year after a year more removed from the maternity leave. So I feel bad for her. Almost 2 years then. So here are the stats, Rob, for the game. And you can see that Dantas didn't play again. I'm sure that has to do with the death in her family. It's my understanding that's why she was missing. So I guess she'll probably just play next week because she's making the team anyways. Like I said, she's got a protected guaranteed contract. Yeah. And she got herself in shape. She's coming back from an injury last year, and now she's going to be better. So she's a great backup center, I think. So this is what happened. Kaden Clark had 19 minutes. She was 6 for 10, 4 for 6. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and 3 turnovers and 16 points.
And a logo 3.
But Natasha Howard shot better this game, and so did DeWanna Bonner. They all shot better, but they're playing against a team that's not very good defensively. So, Rob, I'll say this. You can't draw much conclusion from either one of these games because the first game, they didn't have Kaden Clark. And the second game, they played against a weak team.
Well, the thing I can draw from this game, Mark, these first 2 games, and I'm focusing in on one player, and that's Boston. she still does not have the hands for handling the ball. In both games, she's fumbled the ball, and then again, still her footwork is still a little not little shady. And then making a shot, she's pulling a Reese. She's throwing the ball up there, and then she's not really shooting the ball. She's throwing it up there.
Yeah, I was not impressed with her around the basket play. Her passes were nice, but that's it. She did get 7 rebounds in this game. But yeah, Rob, we talked about this. She needs to get those hand grips or tennis balls. When she watches TV, just keep squeezing them because her hands are not strong, Rob. That for a 6'5" woman, even if maybe she's 6'4", I don't know. She's listed at 6'5". She's not a strong woman when it comes to holding onto that ball. Last year she got knocked out of her hands all the time in the post.
And this is what's happened in the other games too. These past 2 games, she got the ball in the post and got the ball knocked right out of her hand like a little kid.
You can see already that Duana Bonner is going to be Caitlin Clark's favorite target on the fast break, Rob, because of those long arms. She's got pretty good speed, great size, and she knows she's supposed to run.
Right.
And Natasha Howard is going to do the same thing, I think, and Kelsey Mitchell. It's going to be great. Those 3 are going to be running their butts off when Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston get the rebound. And that's what they're going to do. That's what's going to happen in the starting 5. And it gets even better when Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall get in there. And Sophie Cunningham can make a layup.
Oh, yeah. I know.
They're still missing.
Like I said, Mark, there's going to be at least this roster is, if you look at it, and this roster is going to she can play at least at the most. I think she can play at least 9 players.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see what happens. You got the starting 5. I don't think they're going to have any reason to change that. They do have the advantage of the fact they have 2 energy players that come off the bench, Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall. That's going to give them a big advantage over their teams, Rob. How many teams have 2 quality energy players coming off the bench that are versatile players? Probably nobody in the league. New York's the only one that comes close to having 2 quality players coming off the bench. So that's good. Yeah, I think, all right, so you got those 5. Obviously, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall, and Damiris Dontrus is going to get playing time. Those 8. Now, if there's going to be a 9th, it's unclear to me who it's going to be. Sydney Colson, you'd think, but she hasn't looked that great. And Michaela Timpson looks so good. She may be the 9th or the 10th person, Rob, on the team.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She looks very well. She's flowing. She can rebound. She's got a little stronger when she gets the ball inside. She got it blocked a couple of times, but she's got as you remember, my coach, freshman coach, and you knew him, Mr. Viana, the ex-Marine, in his voice, get the ball and power it up. Gotta power it up.
Bree Hall got playing time finally. She didn't get playing time in the first game, and she got 9 points, 4 for 9, 1 for 4 and 3. She plays good defense. But I don't know who they're going to keep, Rob, for the 12th person, because they don't even have a 12th person they can keep. But I think you're going to get Michaela Timpson for sure. And I can't see them cutting Brianna Turner, given her reputation for her defensive play. And so I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know, Mark. I mean, you still got to have that youth movement too. I mean, you have the veterans, but you got to develop the young players too. So
they could cut Brianna Turner and say, "Listen, we'll bring you back in." A third of the way through the season, but someone else might pick her up.
That's what I'm thinking, Mark. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, they may be able to. I don't know. Whoever gets waived, who knows whether another team's going to pick them up or not. So we'll find out. They got to decide by the 15th of May at 5:00 Eastern time, I think. So let's just see the stats, and then we'll show the logo 3. Boston was 4 for 9, Rob. But anyways, but you're right. Her footwork is still not where it should be. I will say, Rob, she's got Duana Bonner, Natasha Howard, and she also have, a new head coach, several new assistant coaches, and a player development coach that can help her with her footwork and her post moves around that she didn't have last year, Rob. So
right, that's the main thing. I think she has the right crew around her to help her work on a game. If they're observing the game like we are, the other fans are observing her. They'll work on it. Say, this is what you need to work out. Show the tape. See, when you get the ball in the post, you're bringing it down too low. Bring it up high and grip the ball. Hold on to it. Grip it. Jeez.
We'll see. We'll see how everyone else. I don't know if Ejim was 3 for 5. She looked okay. Julian Lynn, she looked all right. I mean, we'll see. I don't see him in practice every day. We're only going to see him in a few minutes, so that I'm sure Stephanie White can figure it out. But it's complicated Because what happens is then they can't sign that 12th person again for a third of the way through the season. What does that person do? I'm going to pause it as soon as she releases it. And so the spot on the ground you're going to see in a second, Rob, is where she made the basket when she set the record for the all-time scorer leader in college basketball history. And I'm going to show you she's behind it by at least a foot or two. Maybe at 2 to 3 feet, right? So can you see that on the ground here?
Yep.
Can you see that? All right. That's where the mark was when she set the record. And the Brazilian woman had no idea she was going to take off at 36 feet. She knew she has that reputation, but she goes, well, 36, I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
So that's at least 2 to 3 feet behind the logo, right?
Oh, easily.
Yeah, behind where she took it before. And so we'll finish that up.
That's what I want to put out. That's what I want to point out, Mark, with this team. You see the difference as far as enthusiasm, the togetherness, and the main thing, like I said, with Caitlin Clark, even Lexi Hall, the chain's off. The chain is off. She knows what her role is. She knows what she has to do. She can go back to the way she was playing in high school and college, and just enjoy the game. And that's what it looks like. She looks like she's going to enjoy the game this year.
Well, Rob, last year, and we disagreed on this, but maybe you've come around on this. But last year, Christy Sides, in the first preseason game, she threw Caitlin Clark underneath the bus for no reason, in my opinion. It served no purpose. But then she continued to do that to all the players for the entire season. And she almost never took responsibility for when they blew leads or didn't play well. It was always the players' fault. And I think the players didn't respect her. For one, number one, she didn't know what she was talking about. And two, she kept throwing them underneath the bus. So if you were a player, knowing your coach was incompetent, yet kept blaming the players, you would kind of resent the coach a little bit. And I think that hurt the team chemistry. What saved the team chemistry are players like Lexi Hall, Caitlin Clark, and Leah Boston, who were all kind of friends. And then it kind of grew from that when they started respecting Caitlin Clark and letting her run the team.
Well, even Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell wasn't really calling.
She came around.
Yeah,
she wasn't there at first. The attitude
Mitchell come around too. So
yeah, now she's great. So, but I think they gave him a good team chemistry last year, not Christy Sides. But it's even better this year because everybody's on board. Even the players they brought in, they said, listen, we're going to build around these three players, Leah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell. We're just letting you know that. You're not coming in to be the superstar. And they're all cool. They go, fine, we just want to win a championship.
Well, the point is, Mark, the point is they brought back Kelsey Mitchell. She was free agent. They could have let her go, but they said, they probably talked and said, look, come back to our team. We're going to build this championship team. We need you on our team. Come back here. We got you. You know, that's part of it. They started having people and then bringing in all the veterans to form a team. As you see, like look at the offense and defense, and then of course with the coach. So they have a mission. They're on a mission.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many things I want to wait till the third preseason game before I draw too many conclusions. But we'll find out. I mean, Sydney Colson, maybe she's just trying not to ruffle any feathers or anything when she plays point. So, hey, if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so get notified of our next video. And feel free to share this video with your family, friends, or acquaintances. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover, which is tonight at 6 o'clock to 7 Eastern time. And also Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30. It's like a sports reporter type forum. We have a debate with guest podcasters. It's really cool. We talk about Caitlin Clark and all sorts of good stuff. If you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super things down below. The link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.